Part 3. Body mechanics. I know this is rude and I'm sorry. But working on an empty stomach is bad. Unless you're going to a fight. You don't want to fight on a full stomach. That's very bad. If you do fight on a full stomach, you want it to have eaten at least 2 hours before you fight. That way everything's digested and you won't hopefully have any accidents in the ring. Okay, so when you're in a controlled environment, like if I got a punching bag, I'm in a controlled environment. I'm in a gym, I'm punching the bag. Alright? I'm in the UFC, my opponent and I have rules. We're in a controlled environment. My job is to destroy his body mechanics and put a monkey wrench into his programming. And why is that? Because I want to win. More importantly than wanting to win, I kind of just want to survive. And I'm a small guy, so I can't be playing around. When you are in a fight, you have to times how strong this guy is, not just based on his looks, because you can never tell how strong someone is just by looking at them. But the tail of the tape is everything. So let's say I'm a fighter who's never fought. I'm a rookie. And the first guy I'm going in against is somebody who's had 6-0 fights. He's never lost. I'm praying that I'm the guy that's going to win. Whether it be a TKO or a KO or a tap out. Those are the 3 ways you win in a controlled environment fight. Whether it be wrestling, whether it be UFC or MMA of any sort, you have 3 ways of winning. You have the knockout, you have the tap out, and you have the TKO. Now wrestling, I don't think they have a TKO, because I've never seen anybody in WWE lose to a TKO. I've seen a tap out, I've seen a knockout in the last man standing match, and I've seen a pin. But no TKO. Now, TKO means technically knocked out for those who aren't up in the sports jargon. I'm not totally in the sports jargon, but I know enough about boxing. TKO, technically knocked out. That means you can still function. It's just not highly recommended that you continue the fight. So, I'm 0-0-0 across the board. No one knows who I am. They only know my name. The guy I'm fighting is 6-0. 6 victories, no defeats, all by TKO, KO, or tapping out. So now I got my work cut out for me. I understand how this is going to play into body mechanics really quickly. I have my work cut out for me because I know the rules of what I can do versus what I can't do. Now, again, I'm not allowed to jab him behind the ear with a praying mantis strike. I'm not allowed to choke him. I'm not allowed to break anything on purpose. So I'm at a disadvantage there. This guy has hands of stone. As I said, he's tapped the person out. Now, he's only won 6 fights, so 2 for each one would be 6. So he's tapped the person out twice. He's knocked the person out twice. He TKO'd a person twice. 2 times 3 is 6. So if he has 6-0 and I'm 0-0-0 across the board, this is either going to be the thing that makes my career and brings down him off his high horse, or it's going to be the thing that breaks my career. And in the end of the day, we're fighting for respect to begin with, so I'm trying to get paid. So I got to follow the rules. Now I got to worry about body mechanics. Why do I keep bringing up the word body mechanics? Here's your body mechanics. My hand closes into a fist. My muscle contracts so that my tricep is straight and my bicep humps up. My job in a fight is to make sure that you can no longer make a fist. So I can break your arm, except for in a controlled environment. So I will be subjugated to putting you in a Fujiwara arm bar or a triangle choke to tap you out. Now here's where the fun part comes in. The guy I'm fighting is a wrestler ground and pounder. And I come in as a striker and minimum wrestling skills, maybe a little bit of grappling. So I come in as a striker and a grappler. He comes in as a wrestler, ground and pounder. Now, if he can't get me down, he's not making me tap. But he's a wrestler and a ground and pounder. If he can't get me down, he can't knock me out unless he hits me first. And I have a glass jaw. And he staggers my shit. And the referee looks and sees that I'm glazed over and just rings the bell. And that would make him 7-0. But the trick is, he's got to get through my defenses. So say I got a good offense. And everything he throws at me, he can't get through. And now he's going to try to out-wrestle me. But I'm a little bit of a grappler. So he goes in for a double leg takedown, but I sprawl and catch him in a headlock. Now I got him where I can put him in a guillotine and raise up. The problem is, I got a good chance of breaking his fucking neck. Because I'm also a street fighter. And in the streets, if I have him in a headlock, I'm going to elbow him in the fucking side of his neck. Or in the back of his neck, or whatever the hell I can get. If I got him here and his back's out here, I'm going to elbow the fuck out of his back. Illegal. They're going to stop the fight. He's now 7-0. I'm 0-1. And why am I 1? Because technically, I broke the rules. I got kicked out of the fight. Now that would have been instinct for me because that's what I was trained to do in the martial arts that I've taken. That, you strike vulnerable spots of the human body. Body mechanics. I got him in a headlock. All of this is exposed. And I am elbowing him in his shoulder blades. Alright? Now you're all thinking, why are you elbowing him in his shoulder blades? Because I can't elbow him in the spine. It's not legal. But it didn't say nothing about shoulder blades. And I can't elbow him in the back of the neck because it's possible that I could kill him. So I'm elbowing him in the shoulder blades. Plus, I'm small, so it's probably the first thing that I can reach. So I can elbow him and drive that shit down into that little pit inside his shoulder blades because I know I'm going to do damage because that's part of something I learned in Judo and Kempo about where to actually strike a person. So I got him in a headlock and I'm elbowing him and the whole time he's trying to dump me. It's hard to dump somebody when you're elbowing them and kneeing them at the same freaking time as you got them in a freaking headlock. And you're probably all thinking, that's not a possible move, James. And I'm here to tell you, yes it is. Not just because I make movies, but because I've actually been able to do that at least one time. Because every time I've been in a fight, someone's tried to body slam me. There are many counters to a body slam, which goes back to body mechanics. When people body slam you, there are yay so many body slams that you can be put in. And technically the suplex is a body slam. The belly to back, you're going over. Your body's getting slammed to the ground. The belly to belly, you're going over. Your body's getting slammed on the ground. The suplex, your body's getting slammed on the ground. The big body slam, the scoop slam, they're all slamming you. How do you prevent this shit from happening? It's really simple. You don't let it happen by any means necessary. He is a ground and pounder wrestler. I am a grappler and a striker. Understand how this works. We both have grappling techniques because he's a wrestler and I'm a grappler, which means my jiu-jitsu or my judo will have to play a part. Now, if I'm doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu, which I have outwardly admitted on many videos that I suck at it, I learned it in the army, I would never use that shit under any circumstances whatsoever unless I'm in a dojo and I'm refreshing courses. Alright? I honestly suck at Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I hate that shit. I can roll with you. I will probably lose. I will probably tap. And I don't like that shit. So I would probably just tap just to get it over with. Because it's not my thing. But if we're grappling and we don't have rules and I get to use pressure points or certain jiu-jitsu or judo or kempo moves, then I got you dead to rights. Because if we're grappling and I can switch it to a judo throw or hip toss, then I got you and I can put my knee in your neck. Because if a person can't breathe, they can't fight anymore. We're in a controlled environment, I'm not allowed to do that. So if I got you in a headlock and I'm kneeing you in the gut while I'm elbowing you in the back, technically it's unnecessary roughness, but we're in a controlled environment with rules, and this to here is gonna hurt. He's gonna be trying to block that shit, but he also has to worry about me dropping bows on his back. Because I'm going to be dropping anything and everything I can to keep him from slamming me. Which means he's going to try to run me into the cage. Which could work better for him or against him depending on how well my thought process is working under battle combat stress. So it's not impossible. It's just highly improbable because you have rules in a controlled environment. So when I got him in a headlock and I'm kneeing him with my left because it's right there, and I'm elbowing him with my right because it's right there, and I got his head, I can't get the guillotine on him because I'm worried about him slamming me. So since I know he's about to slam me, I'm going to start elbowing him in the back first. Then I'm going to be kneeing him. And if at all possible, because I practiced this move 1,000 times, even in my sleep, boom, boom, boom. And also, the first time somebody tried to body slam me, I was taught that put your knees in their guts or their chest and your elbows in their shoulder blades. Now, a lot of people will be like, no, James, that's not logical. That's not probable. You can't do that. You don't know what the hell you can do until you do it. In the heat of a fight, you will be surprised at what you do when the time comes and what you need to do. And people don't get that. They don't explain this shit to you in these battles. So when you're watching all these videos, they don't break that simple logic down of what's what. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, James, you're a fraud. You're a phony. Hey, 512 Rougemont. Come get some. Now, the thing is, make sure you pray to God and all that first, because I'm not going to have you in mercy. If you come to my home, technically you're committing a crime, and even though I invited you, I didn't invite you. I just said come get some. That could have been anything. But you know, you don't fight people unless you know what the hell you're doing. And you know, the thing about fighting, every fight is situational, and every time someone grips you, if you can avoid that panic, and if you know enough about body mechanics, you can stop them from slamming you with a simple elbow to the back. Because most people have to grab you on some level or another to slam you. They're not just going to walk up to you and use some mind trick and you're going to flip through the air and get slammed. That shit's not going to happen. They have to grab you to slam you. Now the question is, are you going to lay there and let them grab you, or are you going to fight? No. When most people grab you when you get in a clinch, you know, they got you by the back of the head and it's a arm around the shoulder, or they're going to go in for the headlock or some shit like that. You need to know all these escapes. You know, it's a lot faster than you think to escape a headlock unless they already got it locked in. Now, there are many different escapes. There's wrestling escape, there's kung fu escape, there's judo escape, there's karate escape. Everywhere there's an escape. There's always an escape. Never panic, there's always an escape. And no matter how tight that grip gets, you have to do the one thing in a fight that none of these instructors tell you when they're making these videos. The main reason why people lose fights is because they fucking lose it right here. This is the weapon of choice. When you are in a headlock, the first thing you don't do is panic. You keep your wits about you in the fight. It's the only way you're going to win. It's the only way you're going to survive. You keep your wits about you. No, you don't have to be professionally trained to know how to escape, but you need to know professionally that there is a way to escape every move. Every move has a counter. And if one doesn't have one, you give it one. It's just that simple. It's with that body mechanics. If someone has you in an arm bar, you know, your arm only goes one way. They have control. Alright? Now, if you're in jiu-jitsu on the standing up era, they teach you to stomp the instep of the foot or kick the shin. Here's how this works. In the dojo, you're not wearing shoes, so it's more than likely that's gonna work. In real life, you want to kind of kick where the ankle and the foot meets. You can't see that from there. So let's try this again. You kind of want to kick right in here. You know, up here is great. Getting kicked in the shin hurts. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care how tough you are. I don't care if you guys say I'm a fraud. But getting kicked right here is kind of where there's the tongue of your shoe. Alright? That's the tongue of your shoe. So it's not really going to hurt them as much, but it's going to let them know that they've been kicked. Probably back kicking to the front of the knee would probably be a little bit more assertive if you want them to get the hell off you. But you're in a headlock. So if you're in a headlock, that shit's obsolete. If you're in a headlock, kicking to the back of the shin is far and few between. However, you're in a headlock. So most of the time you're going to be right by their ribs. So you're in a headlock and you're panicking. Don't do that. You can grab them from the waist, which means you're going to put whichever hand's here on the back and the other hand's here, and you're going to sweep their foot from under them and try to slam them. When they realize they're going up, it's more than likely they're going to loosen that headlock. More than likely. Not guaranteed, but more than likely they're going to loosen that headlock because they just realize they may just have lost control. Now, if you're in an armbar, situation is going to be a little bit more difficult. Escaping an armbar is a whole lot more difficult than escaping a headlock because it also depends on the type of armbar. If you're in a Fujiwara lock, it's more than likely they're on top of you on some case. But this is just a regular armbar, like the police locking you up armbar. And then there's Bob Backlund's chicken wing. Those things hurt. And I have not figured out how to escape that, but I will tell you this. Look at where your opponent is towards you. If he's all the way over here, you might want to try that foot thing because he might step back. And then so when you throw that foot thing, you might want to try and throw your body forward a little bit so you can try to relieve the pressure. Or if worse come to worse, drop dead weight. There's a good chance you might break your arm, but it's a good chance you might break his too. Now, see, like I said, everything has an escape. You just have to be willing to work for it or find that sacrificial lamb. You may have to break your own arm to stop the son of a bitch. Hey, people do it. Forrest Griffin did it, but not from the armbar. I don't think it was from the armbar. But you know, the thing with fighting is a dangerous game. It is not even what I would consider saying a game. You have to know your way around the fight before you get into one. If you've never been in a fight, there's going to be a problem. Now, moving back onto the body mechanics and the scenario that I gave you about me being 0-0-0 going against a guy who's 6-0. And me being, it's my first fight, it's his 7th fight. Now, he's got high stock, he's been amped up, he's hyped, and he just knows that when I get in this ring, he's going to make mincemeat out of me. He knows that. Just by looking at me across the ring, he just knows, he says, yeah, I'm going to run through this guy like a hot knife through butter. What he doesn't know is that he doesn't know my background. He only knows the reputation that my promoters have given the company to say. Which for me would be, say nothing. They're like, why say nothing? Because I have done nothing. They're like, you don't have a nickname. I don't want a nickname. I want to be known as who I am. I'm James Williams Jr., not James the Killer Williams. We don't need any of that. Because all that does is make people want to fight me more. My job when I get in that ring is to knock that guy off his high horse. My job is not to have a reputation. My job is not to come in and say that I'm James the Wolverine Williams and I'm going to break this guy's neck. I ain't saying shit. I get in that ring, I have one thing that I need to do. Hit this guy across the ring with bad intentions and survive. That's it. And don't let this guy do the same thing that I'm thinking to me, to him. You know, I'm thinking I gotta fuck him up. He's thinking he's gotta fuck me up. I'm thinking on another level than this guy. He's got 6 wins. This is my first fight. I'm going in scared as shit already. Because it's my first fight. You know, it's not like when I was growing up in the streets, because after you win your first street fight, it gets a lot easier to beat people up when you take martial arts and get an advantage versus someone who just knows how to box. So, when I tell you about being lucky or being skillful, it's a little bit of both. But I will say, in every fight I've ever been in, I've had a little bit of fear. In fact, I've had a lot of fear. But it was good fear. It wasn't petrified fear. Because that's bad fear. But the thing with fighting is that you have to know your way around a fight. You have to be well-rounded. You have to be able to adapt. And now, if they give me a name, let's say I won the fight. James, the Adaptable Fighter. Or James, Havoc in the Ring Fighter. Or J Havoc, the Kung Fu Killer. Any nickname will do. James the Typhoon Warrior, since I have that typed up on my bow. Or James the Cherokee Fighter. And I come in with the Native American regalia and come in doing the Chief Wahoo McDaniel thing. Tomahawk chop. You know, making fun of my ancestors. I'm not going to do any of that shit. I'm going to get in that ring. This guy's got 6-0. And I'm 0-0-0. It's my first fight. I'm going to first turn to the audience, bow with respect. I'm going to look at God in heaven and I'm going to pray that I survive. Because this guy's 6-0. Now, I could be that one guy. That one, in his 7th fight, I could be the one that levels the playing field. Then all those other guys that he beat could be like, oh, this fucker can't be beaten. Which is where we go into the next video.